And take one, Jimmy Yancey, 101. Hey everybody, welcome to Annieville Blues Piano Blues Camp. Today we're going to hit it up with Mr. Jimmy Yancey, one of the favorite piano players from the 1920s, 30s, 40s. Chicago player, boogie woogie, and one of his most famous bass lines is the one that I'm demonstrating right now. We're in the key of C, and here's how it goes. Very slowly, pinky C, octave thumb, third finger E, skip up second finger G, then teeter-totter back E, G. That's one bar, and it's in 4/4 time. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and it's a swing. Now for those of you that need to maybe use a different fingering, here's another choice. 5, octave 1, fourth finger to E, then second finger G, teeter-totter back. Now we're going to do 12-bar blues, alright? So it's C, second bar, third bar, fourth bar, up to F. Now here we go, F, F, A, C, F, F, A, C, C, E, G. Now one time up, well actually he likes to do G twice every now and then, so we'll do G twice, and return back to C twice, and then we're back at the top. Just a little bit slower. C, C, E, G, C. That's one bar. Practice that in F. Practice it in G. Now, Mr. Jimmy Yancey, his dad, his brother, his mom, everybody were musicians, and he married a wonderful lady by the name of Estelle. And her nickname was Ma Yancey, and Jimmy and she were a wonderful duo together, and for many, many years. And being that he's from Chicago, he even was the groundskeeper for the White Sox there at the stadium. So he had a couple different jobs that he did, but mostly he made us happy. His right hand often did thirds. I recommend that you learn your C scale like you normally would, then try it in thirds. Another sweet sound he used to like is sixths. Thirds are just sixths thrown inverted. C, E. Now start with E and throw the C on top. And practice your C scale all the way. Just use 1 and 5 for right now. Alright? So I'm going to give a demonstration of one of his famous tunes called Yancey Special. And although he doesn't start out this theme in the beginning of this recording, he does it somewhere in the middle, which most of us Yancey fans know to be his special little ditty, his theme. Those are on thirds. C and E, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 3, 2 and 4. Slip up 2 and 4 to E flat, G flat, your black keys, and slide in to E and G, 3 and 5. Rest. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. Now he does that theme even when he switches to F, so you think he's moving his right hand, but he's simply staying in place, but the left hand does the chord progression as it does. So I'm going to give you the first theme of Yancey Special. I'm going to get the left hand going, and I'm going to do it a little bit slower than usual. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and remember this is a swing rhythm. Some people call it a little shuffle. Bass first. Now this is where you stay put, but your left hand moves to F. put this together. Left, then right, then together. It's always good to just take a few beats at a time. Then that note's by itself, so the third bass note's by itself. Now we're going to go together and then apart. And then you teeter-totter the last two notes, and that's bar one. If you got that, you got the whole damn thing. Stay there, but move to F. Now go to G and B, A and C, two black keys, B flat, D flat, B and D. Same fingering you did when you were playing here in C. Return to C for 2 bars. Just to let you know, he does that like 1 or 2 times throughout that recording. He'll stay on the 5 chord for 2 bars, but normally it's his upright bass player, acoustic bass player follows him, and sometimes Jimmy will go to the 4 chord and the bass player doesn't, and vice versa. The other sweet intervals I was mentioning is 6. Here's another lick of Jimmy Yancey. We're going to take G flat and E flat. Now if you don't read notes, that's okay. Let me show you where I'm putting them as far as target notes. You got the set of 3 black keys and a set of 2. Put your thumb on G flat, that's the first of the 3 black keys. Your pinky at the end of the 2 black keys. Use 1 and 5. Slide up a half step. Go back and forth. You can use 1 and 4th finger to 1 and 5 to G and E. Now your middle note is the name of the position you're in, C. And that's the whole lick. Very sweet, just like the gentleman was. Again, left hand first. Together. The name of the position you're in is the 3rd note in this bass line. Recommend is you transpose that same lick to F, and that's going to be B natural, G sharp, 1 on B, 4th finger G sharp, thumb to C, pinky to A. That's a half note slip. There's your F. Now you're in the position of F. It's always left hand first. Return back to that C. Now we're going to go to G. So you're going to go to the twins, C sharp or D flat, up a 6 to B flat or A sharp, however you'd like to view it. There's your starting notes and a half note slip. And your middle note in the middle is G because you're in the position of G. Again, left hand by itself. So I'm going to stay there for a few more seconds. Obviously, this is a 1-bar idea. So you practice that in C, F, and G, and then you can go through the entire 12-bar blues, okay? So let me demonstrate that now from the top. 1, 2, 3, bass. for one time, home on F, 2 bars of C. Let's go back to that first one in thirds. Stay there with your right hand. Those are 2 favorite licks of Jimmy Yancey. The main thing is to learn this bass. This bass line has taken us from the 20s all the way into rock and roll. My goodness gracious, rockabilly. We've got even country western bass that uses this type of style, and I hope you have a lot of fun. Here's one last thing I'm going to give you. You get that bass going. Here's some backup chords when somebody else wants to have some fun and you can jam and not worry about anything in your right hand, but putting something behind somebody, which is a C6 chord. You're going to take your thumb, E above middle C, thumb, 2nd finger G, 3rd finger A, pinky C. That's called a C6 chord. Then we're going to stay right there and go to F7, and all you need to do is just slide in E flat, thumb, keep your other notes, G, A, C from the chord before. That's F7, 9, but just call it F7 at this point. Back to C6. Your G7, the thumb on the bottom, always look for the bottom note. That's the best note because it's your target note. F, A, B, D. Notice they're all 4-note chords. They're fat sounding, just like a horn sound or horn section sound. F7, 9, C6. We have some nice tight harmony, just like when a choir's singing. Everybody's nice and tight. Now you're going to do this with your left hand, and I'm going to just give you a simple little ba ba 2, 3, 4. Ba ba 2, 3, 4. Make it bounce. 1, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Get your bass going. Do that. And remember, this is just some backup comping for a style. Going for Jimmy Yancey. Echo. F7. Echo. C6. G7. F7, 9, C6. You can learn to bend things, but I think that just gives you a few little details that you can have some fun with. 101 Jimmy Yancey. Thank you for joining me. Annieville Blues signing out on Annieville Blues Piano Blues Camp.